Good morning. So today we're going to learn about volume of spheres. So in the past we learned about the volume of a cylinder and the volume of a cone. Today we're going to talk about our last shape, and that is the volume of a sphere. Okay? So the volume of a sphere is, so draw a sphere first. Okay, and this is the radius. So a volume of a sphere is V equals 4 pi r cubed all over 3. That is the volume, that's the formula you're going to use to find the volume of a sphere. So recognize that this has a 3, not a square. So when we talk about spheres, we're talking about cubes, okay? And you're just going to plug in your information. So let's do an example. Find the volume of this sphere. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write out the formula so you can get it into your head. And so my r is going to be my radius, which is 4. You're going to plug that in. That's the only number you have to plug in. Then phi equals 4 pi. 4 cubed is going to be 64 all over 3. Okay. 4 times 64 is 256 pi over 3. Okay. Oh, you cannot see it. There you go. So then 256, so remember pi equals 3.14 all over 3. You times this, divide by that, and you will get 268.1 centimeters cubed. Okay, and that is going to be your answer. So it seems like a lot, but the only thing you have to plug in is your r. Okay, you're going to cube it. You're going to multiply these two. Okay, and then you're going to substitute 3.14 in for pi. Multiply again, divide by 3, and you get 268.1 centimeters cubed. So let's do another one. Okay. So let's do this one. Okay, again, you try to find a volume, and it's a sphere. So you're going to write out your formula. V equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. So this time, this is the diameter. How do I find my radius? You're going to divide by 2, which is 5. It's half of that. So I'm going to plug in 5 in for r. And I'm going to cube. 5 cubed is going to give me 125 over 3. Okay, multiply these two. You get 500 pi over 3. Move this up here. So 500 times 3.14 over 3. So multiply these two, divide by 3, and I'll get 523.6 feet cubed. So with volumes, you're pretty much solving it the same way. You're just plugging values into the formula and you're solving them. Okay? So let's do another one. So why don't you try these next two on your own. So go ahead and pause the video once I've written these out and try doing these by yourself. So find the volume, this is a 16. Okay, so find the volume of these two, pause my video, work these out, and then come back for the answers. Remember, you can use Desmos Scientific Calculator. Okay, that is going to be located on my homepage in math. So if you don't have a calculator, that's fine. You can just use Desmos. Okay, so give these a try. Welcome back. Okay, let's do number 1. Again, I'm finding the volume. This is a sphere. So I'm going to use V equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. And my radius is 2. So I'm going to plug 2 in. Okay, 2 cubed is going to give me 8. Okay. 4 times 8 is going to give me 32 pi over 3. Okay. Remember, pi is 3.14. Plug that in for pi. Divide by 3. 32 times 3.414 divided by 3 is going to give you 33.5 millimeters cubed. And that's going to be my answer. And I just want to go ahead and let you know, when you're doing problems, okay, in the directions it's going to say if you need to use 3.14 for pi, okay? If it does not say that, then you're going to take your calculator, and there's a pi button. Okay, and then there's also one on the Desmos too. So if you go to second pi, second, this one right here. So press second, and this little mountain looking thing is going to give you pi, and that's going to give you a really long decimal. Okay, when we use 3.14, we're estimating it, so it's not going to give us the exact answer, but most of the time, okay, they want you just to plug in 3.14 for pi. But if it doesn't say that, then that's how you get the most accurate one. Okay, and you can always choose the answer that comes closest to what you have. Okay? So doing this way is perfectly fine. I personally do it this way, okay, but either way. Let's go to 2. So again, this is a sphere. I'm trying to find a volume, so I'm going to use my volume formula. Okay, do I have a radius? No, I have a diameter. So I have to divide by 2 to find my radius. So my radius is 8. Okay. 8 cubed is 512. 4 times 512 is 2048 pi over 3. Plug in 3.14 for pi. divided by 3. So 2048 times 3.14 divided by 3 is going to give me 2,144.7 feet cubed. And that is that volume. Again, volume is how much an object can hold. So this sphere can hold that much. Okay? And then this is going to be the last thing we talk about. Okay? So example 2. Okay. So this time it's going to be find the missing value or radius. Okay. So if they give us a sphere, okay, but we don't know the radius, but we do know the volume equals 113.04 inches cubed. How can we find the radius? Okay, so anytime we're trying to find a missing value for any objects, and we're going to talk more about this tomorrow too, we're going to always start with a formula. Okay, so step 1, always start with the formula. This is a sphere, so to start with a formula, I'm going to write down my formula. V equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. Okay. And we're going to plug in what we know. We know the volume, so this whole thing has to equal 113.04. Okay, so once we find the radius, it has to equal this. So we just plug this in for V because we already know the volume. We're just trying to find the radius. So with these, you're going to solve them the same way. Okay, you're always going to multiply both sides by 3. So this is step 1. Okay, these cancel out. 3 times 113.04 is going to give you 339.12 pi r cubed. So I'm going to multiply those two together. So 4 times 3.14 is going to give you about 12.57. So you're going to plug that in. So again, we solve it over here. So 4 times 3.14 is going to give you 12.57 r squared. So, step 2. Okay. Step 3 is you're going to divide both sides by 12.57. I'm going to divide. Okay. So, over here, 339.12 divided by 12.57. That is going to give you 26.98. Again, this is cubed, not squared. And then step 4, take the cube root. Okay, because this is cube, so to get rid of it, I'm taking the inverse, which is cube. So the cube of this, okay, about is going to give me 3 inches. And that's going to be my radius. Okay, that is a lot. But it's the same thing, okay? So for 4 pi, you're always going to plug in 12.57. Okay, so step 1, multiply both sides by 3. Okay, 1, multiply both sides by 3. Okay, step 2, plug in 12.57, well, multiply 4 times pi. Okay, and that's going to give you 12.57. 3, divide both sides by 12.57. And then 4, take the cube root of both sides. And that's how you solve these problems. Okay, we're going to do another one. Okay. So again, I'm going to start, okay, with the formula. So phi equals 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. Plug in 288 pi in for phi. So if it includes pi, I have to plug in pi for phi. Okay, so I'm plugging this whole thing. Okay, step 1, multiply both sides by 3. So 3 times 288 pi, okay? So 3 times 288 times 3.14. Okay, that's going to give you 2,714.34 equals 4 pi r cubed. Okay, multiply those two together. Again, you can just plug in your calculator. 4 times pi is 12.57. Okay, then you're going to divide by that. Left with r cubed. Okay. Then 2,714.34 divided by 12.57. It's going to give me 215.93. And lastly, take the cube root because it's cubed. Okay, and I'll get about 6 as my radius. Okay. Again, you're just solving them step by step. Okay. So just follow my steps right on the other page and you'll get it right. Okay, I know this looks like a big problem, but honestly it is not just work. Okay, 4 pi is always going to be 12.57 if you want to memorize that. You don't have to, just know you do 4 times pi. Okay, and that would give you 12.57. Guys, so try this one, pause the video, okay, try doing this one, and then come back for the solution. Okay, this will be the last one we do today. Okay, hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so they want us to find the radius, so I'm going to start with my formula. So I'm going to plug this in for phi. Step 1, multiply both sides by 3. These cancel out. Okay, so I'm going to go to my calculator. Okay, 3 times 36 second pi. Again, the pi button is on Desmos. Okay, is that. Or you can do 3 times 36 times 3.14. And it'll give you about what was up here, okay? But we're going to go with the most accurate one, which is this one. And you're going to round to the 10th place, 100th place, excuse me. Okay. Equals 4 pi r cubed. Okay, so for pi is going to give you 12.57. So I'm going to plug that in for 4 pi. R cubed. Okay, next up, divide by that. So R cubed equals, okay, 339.29 divided by 12.57. It's going to give you 26.99. And lastly, take the cube root. So to take the cube root, you're going to get a math. It's easier if you do it on Desmos, but if you have a calculator, this is how you're going to do it. Go to 4. Okay, make sure there's a 3 right there. So 26.99. It's going to give you around to the wholest number 3. And that is my radius. Okay. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I know it was a lot, okay? But we're just going to practice tomorrow. So I hope y'all have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions.